This is the February 26th Traffic Board meeting. Prior to the meeting, I'm going to read the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Do you want to take attendance, Laura?
Sure. Helen Rigo,
Yeah.
Natalie Mello,
Here.
Sergeant Dolan,
Here?
Officer Jose Barboza,
Here.
and Robert Tavares.
Here.
Everyone's present. Everybody got the meeting minutes from last month's meeting?
Yep.
Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Approved and seconded. Anyone opposed? Okay, that motion carries to approve last month's meeting minutes. Is there any public input? Is anybody here for the public input session prior to what's on the agenda? Okay, nobody is here for public input, so we jump right into curb cuts. The first curb cut request is from Steve Steen, 82 and 84 Harvard Street.
Yep.
82 and 84 Harvard Street has two existing 8-foot driveway openings serving two townhomes. The property owner is requesting to remove an additional 4 foot on each driveway to improve ease of access to the property. I'm guessing that that is in between the two driveways,
Yes.
so that they almost connect?
Yeah, because it's just too small.
Okay, engineering has no objection to this request.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed to that approval? Okay, that motion carries. That's all set, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Robert Maderas, 97 Whittier Street,
Yes, sir.
over here. 97 Whittier Street has an existing 41-foot driveway opening on the north side of the property. The property owner is requesting to remove an additional 19 feet to provide additional access to the property, making for 60 feet of total access. And engineering has no objection to this request either.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed?
The engineer approved it, so.
Okay, that motion also carries. You're all set, sir?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Michael Kudo, 555 Broadway, Fall River, Mass. Okay, Mr. Kudo is not here.
Motion to table.
Well, it's just a curb cut, and
Oh,
it's
that's
only
right.
3 feet, so I don't,
No. Motion to approve.
Second.
anyone opposed? Does anyone care about the size of the driveway?
Nope. 3 feet. 3 feet up.
No, well, just for the record, it appears that they made an error in the initial measurement, and the driveway's 27 feet and 7 inches, and they just want to add 3 more feet to it to make it 30 feet and 7 inches. So, no one's opposed to that?
Nope.
Okay, that carries. Now we move on to requests for handicap spaces. The first one is Fernanda Maderas, 865 Eastern Avenue.
Yes.
The question I have is, what, going by there, there's a driveway, there are 2 driveways there, and it looks like there's parking in the rear of that multifamily house.
Yeah, there isn't.
That's not for the residents? All right, that was the only question I had, because other than that,
My mom has doctor's papers if you need them.
No, we've got the paperwork.
I do need a letter from the landlord stating that the driveway, that she cannot use the driveway.
Yeah, there's actually nothing here from that, right?
No.
there isn't.
Just a picture of the
Right.
house.
And the other thing that we need, it doesn't have to be today, whenever your mom can. Is your mom Fernanda Maderas?
Yes.
If she could come, or you, or as anyone, we need to take a recopy of her placard. We need the picture to show. And when they mail it to us, or whoever brought it in, it doesn't have her photo, okay?
Yeah, I'll bring that by tomorrow.
Okay. And then just a letter from the landlord stating that she has no access to the driveway.
Okay.
Is she here today, or you're just representing her?
No, just me, I'm representing.
All right, do you want to tell him about the length of time?
Yes,
For the
so for
installation.
everyone here, so the first step in applying for a handicap space, you have to come to the traffic board meeting. Once it's approved here, my maintenance crew, you're gonna see them go in front of your resident, and they're gonna measure the space as close as possible to the door that you use. Those measurements then will go down to city council. They review it, they send it to ordinance approves it, goes back to council, so you're talking about anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks before you see the poles go up. So, okay?
Now it's my turn. One of these applications, they wrote in there that there's a nearby business that takes up a lot of the parking places. Even with your mom, if another car parks in her spot, but they have a handicap placard, that's okay, that's within the boundaries of the law. Sometimes the people will call the police and say, there's a car in my handicap spot. It's not really assigned to your mom. It very rarely happens that somebody with another handicap placard is gonna park there. But when it happens, she's gonna have to park nearby and wait till they leave. Okay?
I have a question about, is it okay if I ask a question about that?
Are you one of the applicants?
For a handicap, yes.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
look,
I have neighbors that have a plaque, and I know they're gonna end up using it all the time.
They can, if they have a valid
can.
placard, it's
Okay.
by Massachusetts
If that
law.
keeps happening, can I just call you and ask it to be taken down?
You can,
Okay.
yes, you can.
or you can have a
Because she-
conversation with your neighbors and they can come in here and get
I
a,
already
Or-
tried conversations with my neighbor.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you can tell them, if they use the space, just say, you can apply just like I did, and then we'll put like a second
All
one.
right, yeah, that was just.
all right, I don't think we covered this yet, so
I need a motion to approve.
we need the motion.
Motion made.
Seconded by anyone?
Second.
Anyone opposed? All right, this motion carries. The only thing you or your mom are gonna have to do is get the letter from the landlord that says they don't allow parking over there, and another copy of her placard with her picture visible.
Okay.
Okay? And that's it. You're all set, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Constance Parent, 540 Cherry Street, Fall River, over here. There is no off-street parking. I saw no issue at all with allowing that one.
Motion to approve.
Seconded. Anyone opposed? Okay, that motion carries.
Thank you.
You're all set, ma'am.
Yeah.
Betty Cologne, 462 North Underwood Street, over here. Same thing, 462 North Underwood Street has no off-street parking. I saw no issue with that area. Seconded. Anyone opposed? Okay, that motion carries. She must have known it was gonna carry.
Down the door. Ooh.
Two 2086 North Main Street, Elvira Monis, over here. Ms. Monis, in this case, however, is listed as the property owner, but the house is a multifamily house with no driveway, no off-street parking at all. I saw no issue with allowing this one as well.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries.
Just wondering, because we live on the corner, so you guys were considering North Main Street near her front door? right?
Yeah.
Is that
Is
the
that
door
North Main
she
and
uses,
Weaver?
is on North Main?
Yes.
Okay, then it'll go on North
Right,
Main.
that's North Main is where you want it. Okay, yep.
Okay.
Okay,
Very well.
thank you.
Kathleen Quesada, 24 South Street, up there in the back. Ms. Quesada, you say here that your son drives you,
Right.
so
I drive his car also,
you drive his car?
so I drive again.
Does he live there with you? did you change your address with the registry yet for 24 South Street?
We need something from the son that says he lives with us.
Well,
I'm still showing Danford Street.
right. The registration we have here is for your, Richard Manchester at 255 Danforth Street.
Yeah, but we changed our address.
All right, I mean, it could, they're not gonna send her a new registration with the
No,
new
they're
address
not.
on it.
No.
I think we should table it till we bring you the right papers.
Well, he's not gonna be able to get a registration with the right address on it until it's time for his
Until it's
registration to be
expired.
renewed.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Registration?
Yeah,
They put a sticker in the back of this thing.
No, they don't do that anymore.
they don't do that anymore.
No, the license should
Oh, the
say.
license. Yeah, but anybody can do that.
Even that, they tell you to just put it on your.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
your
tell you
license.
so.
I mean, I can, when I get back to the station, I can run the registration, but I don't wanna hold this
Laura,
up.
can we get a utility bill? please?
Yeah, we can get something with her name and his name on it, that's all I really need.
You have a bill for that address?
Yeah, just, I need something with your name that has that address, that you live there, and as well as your son. And then, it doesn't have to be today, you can come, either this week or next week, and then we'll make copies of it, and we'll put it into the application. This way, if anybody says anything, we have proof that you live at this address, okay?
The South Street address.
Yeah, on the insurance, it says Danford Street.
Yeah,
Right, but she lives on
this
24
application is
South.
24 South.
Oh, she moved.
Yeah.
I just moved in the past month.
All right, so are we going to still put this up for any motions?
Motion to deny.
Okay, there's a motion to deny,
I'll second that motion.
seconded. Anyone want to approve it? Okay, it's currently denied.
Bring all the paperwork in, then
For the next meeting?
the next meeting. Bring all the paperwork in for the next meeting, and then we'll
So
go
why
over
don't we
it
just
again.
table it?
Why don't we just table it?
She can reapply.
Why don't we just table it? If you deny it, she's gonna have to do the whole paperwork again, yeah.
Table it?
I'm gonna stick with the no.
All right, they're sticking with deny. Hey, ma'am, your application is currently denied. Nancy Nicolette, 404 Bradford Avenue, over here. No off-street parking, and I saw no issue with approving that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed to approving that one? Okay, that motion carries. You're all set, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. John Thomas Cabral Jr., 79 Everett Street. Right there, sir. The only question I have is when I went by your house, there's a driveway on the south side of your house. That's your neighbor's property. Okay, my question is answered. He has no off-street parking then. I saw no issue with allowing that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that motion carries. You're all set, sir.
One other thing, I watch this now and then. Oftentimes I can't even hear what you're saying.
Really? I'm pretty loud.
Yeah, you might be bigger, but sometimes the others, I can't hear, I don't know if it's not picking it up good or what.
If he pulls you over, you'll hear him.
Pick up on your own.
They're supposed to redo this office sometime in the future. Maybe they'll put the camera like they have on the mics like they have at City Hall. But I know they're redoing this, make it one level.
Thank you for your input, sir.
Yeah.
You'll be old now. You have to see that done.
Okay, Luz Torres, 219 Rodman Street.
Let's do it.
Luz Torres, 219 Rodman.
Motion to table.
Seconded.
Okay, 219 Rodman Street is going to be tabled for the next meeting. Kimberly DeRosa, 319 Winter Street, right here. Okay, there is no off-street parking available, and I saw no issue with approving that one.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Thank you very much.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that carries, you're all set, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
She don't have a
Good
picture
luck
on her
having
email,
that.
you noticed that?
Yeah, excuse me,
Oh.
when you have a chance, we need to do a recopy of the placard so that we can have your picture.
Okay, and I bring it to where?
Third floor.
Okay. Thank you very much, you guys. Have a great day.
You too. Yvette Tebow, 6 Shavenson Street, over here. I used to live on Shavenson Street, I know how wonderful parking is over there. We've got a neighborhood
Mario?
meeting here.
Did they Mario?
We live on the corner, right in the corner.
You're doing Shavison?
Yep, 6 Shavenson Street. Went by there, there is no off-street parking. She does have a letter from the landlord that she doesn't allow the off-street parking. It's a 3-family house, I saw no issue with approving it.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you.
Who seconded
He asked, and I believe it was
it? Who
Natalie.
seconded it? Was it
Helen.
Helen?
Oh, she's throwing her voice. And no one is opposed to it. Okay, that carries, you're all set. You're welcome. Barbara Adams, 417 Belmont Street, right here in front.
Right here, yeah.
This was tabled from last time? Yes.
Yeah, I was in the hospital.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not gonna blame you for being in the hospital.
Yeah, 8 days.
Wow.
Not fun.
I went by
Yeah,
there,
not fun.
we discussed this at the last meeting too, there is no off-street parking,
No.
so I saw no issue
I
with
have a
approving it.
letter from my landlord I gave you to.
Mhm.
I just have a question for you. How are you able to bring your groceries up all the way that,
It's not,
Driveway.
it's not easy, and especially if I can't park right in front. I usually have to either grab somebody, or if there's nobody home, it stays there until somebody can come
Yeah,
home.
that's hard.
Yeah, I know, it's a terrible place, but my rent is so inexpensive that I can't afford to move.
good for you though, I mean, good for you that you can afford to
Yeah,
stay
my
there.
rent is perfect, and
Yeah.
if I move, I couldn't, I
Right.
would be able to afford to live
Well,
there.
lots of luck.
anywhere else. Okay,
Thank
am I
you.
all set?
Barbara, the same thing, when you have a chance, we need a
My picture,
photo
yeah,
of the picture
I
on
have
your
to take it
placard.
all apart. But can I mail that in? Okay, cause parking around here.
Yeah, you can mail it in.
Oh, to even find the parking here.
But if you have that placket card, you got the handicaps.
I know, but
yeah.
even with that, there's no
Okay.
parking.
Yeah, there's only like 3 or 4 spots.
It'd be tough.
Yeah, I try to, unfortunately, I avoid downtown Fall River because of that. All right, thank
Right.
you, I'm all set?
Have a
Yes,
good
you're all
one.
set.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
Okay, after the handicap placards, under miscellaneous requests, a request from the Nutri Athletic Club, 867 Plymouth Avenue. There's no one here representing them.
We removed the old,
It was a computer repair place, I think, right?
right, many years ago, so we removed the poles and the signs. He contacted the traffic department, and he said that he needed them back, but it was different times. So I told him you need to write a letter to the traffic board, put in the times that you need, and then we'll put those signs into ordinance, and then we'll put up the signs.
Okay, motion to table.
Second.
To table? Does he have to be present for this?
I mean, the letter says everything that he needs, and I did speak with him, so, but it's up to the board.
How, those hours good?
Yeah, we try to, we always match it as close as possible to what's already in
So it'll be
ordinance.
9 AM to 9 PM?
We'll probably go a little less than that if we don't have 9 PM in ordinance.
Monday through Saturday.
Oh, you didn't submit the times yet?
What kind of business is it? That's why you
Uh,
want
It's,
Nutrition
yeah,
shakes and stuff.
it does smoothies and all that kind of stuff.
So they're asking for 1 hour parking. What he wrote here is 9 AM to 9 PM, Monday through Saturday. How about if there's a motion for
anything without.
We can cut that
the
back.
1 hour parking signs to be whatever we have within ordinance?
Anything without anything.
No, I did.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, so we need, that's a new motion, right?
Motion to accept.
1 hour parking for whatever times we have in ordinance for
It could
that
be till 6, or
business.
it could be till 7.
Because 9 PM's
Is
late.
what, yeah.
People get home from work by then.
I'll second that.
Anyone opposed to that? Okay, that motion will carry then. Next on the agenda is a request from Randolph Souza, DMD at 337 Linden Street. No?
Linden and Walnut.
Requesting the intersection of Walnut Street and Linden Street be reviewed for stop signs. There are stop signs on Walnut Street at Linden Street. Looking to see if the intersection can be a four-way. Concerned with the accidents that have occurred at this intersection. So when I got this agenda, I went into the Fall River Police Department computer system, and I looked up car accidents in the last 3 years and 1 month. And in the last 3 years and 1 month, we've had a total of 5 car accidents at that intersection.
Motion to deny.
Second that motion.
Anyone want to approve that? Okay, that will be denied. The Aldrich School at 295 Harrison Street. Gentleman here representing the school. I understand the parking issue on Harrison Street.
I received a phone call from the school that they were having some issues with the buses that utilize, you can have a seat, please.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. So I went there and I met with this gentleman as well as one of the teachers. And Harrison is a one-way with parking on both sides. And I did see a bus get there. I mean, the bus parks right in the middle of the road. The children come out. They have to make sure that there's no cars coming, so really not very safe. There used to be a crosswalk there, but because there's no handicap ramps on either side, we had to take the crosswalk away. So what they're asking,
You're asking is for no parking on the east side of the street.
basically what would be benefit is no parking between signs on the east side, so that the bus can pull right in, drop off the children. But on the other side, probably a length of a car, also no parking between signs, so that when the children cross the street and the bus monitor is crossing the children, they don't have to go around the car, they go right into the school.
You want the east and the west.
I just want to play devil's advocate here. Buses stop all the time in the middle of the street and pick up kids. They block traffic, in fact, by stopping in the middle of the street, so it's not like a car can pass.
Everybody should know.
Yeah, I mean, what I saw was little kids. These are like 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and
But
5-year-olds.
again, I'm playing devil's
Yeah.
advocate here, because that's a very tight parking neighborhood.
I-
There's a monitor walking with those children, they're not walking alone.
That's correct, sir, but there's parking on both sides of the street, and the bus distance leaves you like 2 feet on either side, maybe 3 or 4 feet on either side.
It is tight.
So when the children come out, we want to go out of the bus a few steps, out forward in front of the bus, so the driver can see him. Don't have an arm on the bus, but if you did have an arm, out that far, and then straight across the street. And to do that, they're going through cars or around cars to get into the
Because the street's that tight.
It is, it's.
The arm
it's
would
what's
hit,
wrong.
wouldn't it, being that tight?
You wouldn't even be able to use the arm anyway,
Right.
because the arm would hit. Now, they did have, you gotta remember, there was a crosswalk there. So, and people could not block the crosswalk. So, they were accustomed to that, but like I said, we didn't.
Can't we do it even though you don't have a handicap?
I can't. Massachusetts law will not allow us to do a crosswalk this. Well, because handicapped people have a right to cross when there's a crosswalk. And if there's no ramp for them to utilize, then it's an illegal crosswalk.
The distance between those two signs is what, 30 feet?
I think my clerk attached the pictures. I'm not sure if she did.
Yeah, there were
I
pictures.
didn't-
I took those pictures. So, the one with the mother and child, it would be like that area right there would be blocked off. So you're
There's 2
talking.
cars here, so you're talking, probably 40
From the
feet.
utility pole back would be about 25 feet.
Our ordinance is 25 feet?
Yeah.
All right, so why
That
don't they
ordinance
just
says
stop?
25 feet.
No
Oh, no,
parking
it's
here
what we want for no
and
parking
here,
between
and they do it from
signs.
the green school. The green school has no parking. from
But the
here.
green school is nice and wide, the streets are wider at the green school. If you go to Harrison, there's parking on both sides, the bus just about makes
So what I'm
it.
saying is put no parking here during school hours from here.
We could do that too, we could put no parking
No
between
parking.
signs, and we could put like morning and, and hopefully, people that park there are out of there before the school starts.
When the crosswalk was there, of course, not only was the crosswalk, whatever that is, 12 feet.
It's 12 feet.
Whatever the crosswalk is, but nobody parked within 10 feet of the crosswalk. So it gave us plenty of time, plenty of room, I should say, to go around the bus and get into the school. And we used Harrison Street, that might be the next question you might have, why use Harrison Street? Because Quinquechan Street is so busy, and we have one bus that actually has to drop off on Quinquechan Street because it can't make the corner on Harrison Street. But the other two buses, we put them on a one-way, just as you suggested, you stop the traffic, make things much safer for the kids to get in the building, because they are only 3 and 4 years old.
It's off
Don't they
of,
use Quarry Street?
no, Harrison is off of Alden Street.
Mhm.
This is the Aldrich School that's on Quickashan Street. So the front is on Quickashan, the back is on Harrison.
It comes out
Why
where
can't
the
they
store
use the
24
Quickish
used to be.
Street?
Well, he just said they have one bus that uses Quickashan, but because it's a very busy area, you've got parents dropping off kids.
Wait, like we do when every bus stops, I have to wait every morning when they're picking up people on Stafford Road.
I don't know, what do you suggest?
How many cars is that gonna take up then? That's at least stopping, is it only stopping 2 cars?
It would be.
Or you're getting a third because of the other side,
4,
right?
8, 12, 16, 20, 25. Here, we were thinking about giving them about 25, and the other side would be about 10 feet. You just need some kind of an entrance so the kids can go right into the school.
I mean, obviously, the children's safety should be paramount, but
Absolutely.
it's 3, so we're losing 3 parking places on an already difficult street to park on.
Well,
I think,
only during
I
the
think
times
the
of pickup.
hours, I think the hours would be a good
I
suggestion.
think so too.
During school hours.
Mhm.
Anybody have any other
Motion, Judge?
ideas than that?
I'd say 7 to 3.
Well, they have different hours.
Or just say during
so-
school hours, right? Well,
Yeah,
then the
well, I
neighbors
have to put the
know.
hours. I think it's from
School-
8,
Yeah, from 7:30 to 2:30.
right, but in the morning, I
Oh, in the
have
morning,
to.
7:30 to 9:30.
Okay, and then in the afternoon, it'd be like maybe from 2 to 3.
12 to 2, because
12
we
to
have
2.
2 different times of pickups in the school.
So those will be the only times that we lose 3.
And in theory, people will be going to work or at work during
Right.
those hours. So it's
But
better
you're
than
only
losing
open
the
till
overnight
2?
hours.
You're only
7
open
to
until
3,
2?
Laura.
Yes,
Did we
Oh,
say
okay.
2:30, yeah,
Please?
2 o'clock
Well,
is
she's
allowed.
not- she's actually
First day out
saying,
of school.
I like that even better.
Yeah, but
That's not-
you
Little
know,
windows in the morning and a little window in the
right,
afternoon.
usually they do, the time signs that we have for schools, it'll give you that hour and a
7:30 to
half or
9:30?
2 hour to drop off.
7:30
So that way
to 9:30.
throughout the day, people, like even
And then
if a
12
parent
to
has to
2.
go to the school, they can pull in and go. And then in the afternoon, again, that cutoff
Instead
where
of
they
making it the
can.
whole day,
Yeah.
that hour and a half in the morning.
Does it have to be no parking then?
Those hours
Can
are
you
right,
put school
Yeah,
bus
that's
parking
fine.
From,
That can go into ordinance as well, and what the traffic board member is saying is instead of saying no parking between signs, put drop off, school bus.
I think that's
I'll
a
word
great
it
idea.
better, and then with the time, so that way
Specifies it.
at least people know that the reason why there's no parking is because of the school bus.
I like that too.
We could do that. We have that at the Green School on Lampin Street.
All right, so how about that?
Motion to approve that.
Designate that area to be school bus only parking during those windows of time that you mentioned for schools. Is there a motion for that?
Motion.
made.
Anyone
My
opposed to
advice
that?
is if you have these little cones, put them out
We
there.
have them out.
Yeah, but, yeah.
They don't
have-
obey that.
They have that green, they put them out for the green. They
So
put
what
them
Actually,
out.
happens-
No, we said they won't obey it.
The crosswalk, but.
So what
uh,
happens
They're
if
waiting
somebody
for the
does
parking.
park there and the bus needs to go?
Well, they'll block the middle of the street like they do now, and hopefully we can get a police officer there to give them a parking ticket.
Okay. Just-
Okay, there's no one opposed to that motion then?
No.
All right, that motion carries. All set then, sir?
Thank you, sir. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Club Tan, Jamie Bento,
yes, sir.
over here. Same thing, this used to be the shoebox, his mom's place.
Yep.
The signs were taken down. He's actually just requesting the signs be put back up now for his tanning salon at 1359 Plymouth Avenue.
Yeah, and the times are gonna be different.
He was actually operating out of there when your mother had the shoebox, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I saw no issue with putting the 30-minute signs back up there.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed to that? Okay, that's approved, sir.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, a request from the traffic department to put a stop sign on Hope Street at Eagle Street. The stop sign would be for the eastbound drivers on Hope Street. There are stop signs on Eagle Street for southbound drivers and on Hope Street for westbound drivers.
I received some phone calls with some issues. So if you're traveling on Eagle heading south, there's a stop sign. If you're on Hope coming down, which is a one-way, there's a stop sign there. People were at, well, the two people that called, when they were trying to go, they almost got into an accident. So it can be a three-way stop sign. It's already got two.
All
The
right.
third one, just make it a
It's funny
three-way.
that this came up, because Sunday I had my granddaughter's baby shower there, down the bottom of Hope Street.
Mhm.
And when I got to that intersection, the same thing happened.
Yeah.
However, I went onto our trusty computer system at the police department, and I used the same time period from January 1st of 2017 to the 21st of February, and there have been a total of 2 accidents at that intersection.
Wait, but the complaint wasn't so much about the accident, is, so if you're on Hope, you have the right of way, because you don't have a stop sign. It's what they're encountering, because people from Eagle are just, you know, they're blowing the stop sign and just,
People on Eagle are blowing a stop sign.
The speeding also.
Second.
Motion to deny and second. Anyone wish to approve it? Okay, that will be denied.
Second, I can get rid of his hands.
I know you got a request from a resident of Sprague and South Beacon Street. Is anyone here from that? No?
well, I told them to put in for a letter and to come to the meeting.
I read the letter and it's signed by neighbor.
Hmm.
They didn't even leave their name.
Nope.
Upset resident.
Yep. He feels that the resident that made all the commotion is really the one that's causing the problem. He has a driveway, he leaves the truck out on the street, sometimes making it difficult for those 18-wheelers. Basically what I said was, you know, we had a traffic meeting, this was tabled, anyone was more than welcome to come. He did speak to all the residents. He wanted to put it in writing. I said we're gonna have, he got a letter from us, but
So this resident did receive a letter that they were welcome to attend the meeting?
yes.
Was this the same man that was helping the business, the last meeting?
This-
that
the
we
man
had?
that-
No, he never came to the meeting. This
No,
is
the man
just-
that
I know,
made the
but-
initial proposal
Correct.
is who this letter is complaining about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was under the understanding from him that none of the neighbors complained about it. They were
Well,
all amateurs.
in addition to that, the neighbors were invited to the meeting. And now that the changes have been made, this anonymous upset resident sent us this letter.
So do you want to
I mean-
table this to give the man
Well-
a chance, or you wanted to?
I mean, I think he just wanted to
Obviously,
express
he
his concerns.
There's
Yeah.
nothing, there's no request in the letter, it's just, yeah,
Correct,
it's venting.
Helen, right.
Well,
He was just,
venting.
yeah,
He's
he was upset when he saw all the,
Like I did last week.
So motion to deny, or motion, there's nothing, really?
no, we heard it, but,
Motion to accept
you
the
know,
letter.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like
Thank
that.
I do have something, it's not on the agenda because it's just a correction of the signs that we put up on
116.
17th, but we
Yeah.
had to put them on Merchant. So I'm just asking to approve the switch, that's all.
All right. A correction has to be made to the measurements at 116 Merchant Street. Need to strike out the measurements from 11/27/19 and approve new measurements.
Motion to accept.
Motion to accept.
Are you from Merchant Street? No.
No, 219 Brookman,
What's the address?
219 Brookman Street.
Oh, is it a handicap request?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's in here.
Table?
219.
We already tabled it because they weren't present.
Oh,
Number 8 on page 3 of the agenda.
Oh, right.
Luz Torres.
Can we lift it from the table, son?
I think we can untable it, can we not?
Yes, parties are present.
Motion to lift from the table.
219 Rodman Street?
Yes. And this is the one where there is no off-street parking. And in her request, this is what I was speaking about before, she mentions that there's a nearby restaurant, so when the restaurant's busy, she has nowhere at all to park. She's got a valid handicap placard. The only thing is where she lives on Rodman Street, there is no parking. So is the entrance to your apartment on 5th Street anyway?
Yeah, Fifth Street in the bottom.
Is that how you walk into your house, 5th Street?
Yes.
So I would just say that the handicap parking would have to be on 5th Street. But I saw no issue with approving.
motion to accept.
Second.
Anyone want to deny it? Okay, that's been
So
approved.
you don't, so even though your address is 219 Rodman, you don't use the entrance on Rodman?
There is not, it's a storefront.
Oh, there is, oh, okay.
And what door does she go in?
5th Street,
Fifth Street.
it's a back entrance to this, the whole apartment, you enter by the back.
Who approved it? Who made him?
I seconded it. Natalie seconded.
Okay.
All right, that motion carries. You weren't here at the beginning of the meeting. It's gonna take a couple of months for the city to go out and make measurements and such. And especially with you living in a restaurant, where the restaurant is, that handicap spot is not actually assigned to you. If someone happens to be going to the restaurant and has a handicap placard, they can legally park in that handicap spot. Okay? But it will be, hopefully it's at your disposal for most of the time. Okay, you're all set. You're welcome. Is there, I've got some other properties to,
No, just the rescind.
yep.
What are we gonna do with this last one?
Hang on a second. Request from the traffic department to have the following handicap spaces rescinded due to individuals no longer utilizing the space because they have either moved, no longer drive, or have passed away. Globe Street, Stockton Street, Harrison Street, 5th Street, and Eagle Street.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone wish to deny that? Okay, that motion carries. That's a letter we were referring to on Sprague Street. It's not really, there's nothing motionable there.
It's just like Officer Mahmoud said, we just make approval that we heard it and put on file, so it'll stay on file.
So explain to me.
All right, is there any other business that we need to discuss? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Anyone opposed to adjourning? Okay, this meeting's adjourned.
So I had to change a couple of things on